Nick speaking, and welcome to my Guardian Jetbike video. I've just finished painting my two fire prisons and Balkan. You've probably seen my painting project videos up, and now I'm moving on to the next thing, which are my jet bikes. I'm going to start off with two squads of 6, so I'm going to do 12 jet bikes, and then eventually I'll do another squad as well. So let's talk about this guy. This is the guy which is on or in the jet bike box, and this is an old model. I think it's probably 2nd edition or at least 3rd edition, not quite sure. Basically he's got a leather jacket on, and although it actually looks quite good, I was actually going to originally keep these guys on my bikes, and I thought, well, I'd make them a little bit different, and I tried taking the head off, which worked quite well. This guy, for example, I've taken the head off, and well, at the moment it's blue tacked on, but then I figured I'd be able to just rotate them around slightly so they look a bit different on their bikes. But in the end I decided that I don't really want my guys wearing a leather jacket, so I shall put normal Guardians on there. Standard Defender Guardians or Storm Guardians that you get, just use those bodies. So that's what I've done for my bikes, and I thought I'd just show you how I did it. First thing is you take your jet bike and you build it absolutely as normal. There's nothing else to do. The legs themselves, again, there's no conversion needed for that, that just sits on. Ideally it's best not to glue these, because you will want to take them off to paint the bike as well. So moving on to the torso, once you've glued the two halves of the torso on, and the only thing really which is stopping the top piece going on to the bike very easily is this little section here, and this piece here is a bit round to actually glue onto the legs. So quite simply all you have to do is just snip that piece off there and file it down nice and flat, and then again for the torso, obviously you've got the 6-pack section. You need to cut it just below the bottom so that you can still see the 6-pack, but it just becomes just a little bit flatter. Just hold that a bit tighter. There you go. So you've got something flat now to glue onto the legs. The fitting itself, because obviously it's not the proper model, is not quite the right fit, and you'll notice that when you put the arms on, it actually is quite difficult to move it around. And the way to do it, I found, is you put the glue into the armpits, and you basically put the two arms in, and you just let them set very slightly, so that when you lift it up and you play with it, they don't just drop out, but obviously so that they can move around. So just a few minutes. And once you've got the arms glued in, what I find the best way is put a dab glue onto the top of the legs there, and you just slot the two hands onto the handlebars, push the body down, and try and get it towards the legs. You may just have to move the legs up slightly to join. What you'll find is on one side, or even both of the sides, the arms or the shoulders will actually slide back slightly out of the shoulder joints. It's absolutely fine, because you just can't notice it afterwards. Once you've done that, you just leave it to dry basically. And well, here's a guy that I've got already. So he's already dried into position, and then you just can slide them back on. And you can see, although his legs sometimes aren't actually hard down, see there's a tiny gap there, he still looks like he's sitting on there, and when you eventually glue it, that will be fine. I don't glue my heads on if I can help it as well, because it's easier to paint them not glued on. And then all you have to do is just stick your normal bits and pieces on. So it's quite a simple conversion. The only extra thing you'll have to do, which I've already done on this one, is where the body joins the legs, the actual fitting needs a bit of a gap around the torso. So I've already grey stuffed in some modelling clay just to fill the gap. It's very simple, you just do a tiny little bit in there, push it into place. There's hardly any modelling needed to do that. You can see the back section just done there, and once that's all painted up, that'll be absolutely fine. The other thing about these as well, just to make your models a little bit different, what I've done is every third Guardian that I put on, I've tried to make them with different poses rather than both hands on the handlebars. I've sort of arranged them differently. I'll just show you my guys. I've got the first one here, and he's just got his hand on his pistol there. Does look like he's scratching his bum, I suppose, but still quite like it. So that's the first guy I've got, and then the second one here, just got him holding a shuriken pistol, and this finger here, this hand, was the Defender Guardian one where he's pointing, so it's like the commander pointing. Just cut the finger off and basically glued it onto the gun, so it's that one. And this is the actual hand pointing. It's that guy there. And the other one, which again is the Defender Guardian platform guy, and he's just playing around with his dashboard. He's got his head just tilting right down looking at the dashboard. So I find that sort of works. It helps break up the models and make them a little bit more interesting. Obviously the other thing is every third bike you can put a shuriken cannon on, but they don't supply the model. There's no shuriken cannon upgrade or facility for the bike unless you can buy a Shrieker bike, which has the gun on the side, which, I mean, it does the job, but, well, I don't know. I mean, obviously the Shrieker bike is much smaller than this shuriken cannon, but for me it just looks a bit side heavy. I just don't know that it looks right, so I came up with a different design, and I'll show you one of mine. I just put it on the bottom there basically. Now you could argue that it's not quite as streamlined, but I think it works. You know, it does work, and the other thing is it matches my Vipers, because my Vipers have the shuriken cannon on the front like that. So next I'm just about to build another bike, and it's going to be a shuriken cannon bike, so I shall show you how I did that, and if you like the idea, maybe you could copy it. Okay, that's it for now then, more to come.